It's me, AkashaWolf, and today is Tarot Tuesday. So I decided that I'm going to be going back and forth with the major and minor arcana, and I'm going to go, like when I get to the minor arcana, we're going to be going through the different suits at about like the same number, and then once those are done, we'll move on to the next one. So for example, today will be Ace of Wands, next week will be, of course, the Magician, and then the following week will be Ace of Cups, or Chalice. So in my explanation of the major and minor arcana video, I did kind of go over the different meanings and small details about the different suits. So you're kind of going to be getting the same information, but a little bit more detail, I guess you could say, for these suits. And today's suit is going to be Ace of Wands, or staffs, like however you want to see it. And they will also look different in different cards, but it will look different for, you know, different decks that you may have. Now, whenever you come across wands, they represent fire. So whenever you see a suit that is wands, especially with this one in particular, it means yes, it means fast. So fire is quick. So when you're doing a reading and you do receive wands, that means that whatever is being talked about within the reading will be coming quickly. So it kind of gives you a better idea on how soon something is going to happen. But tarot timing is so weird. Sometimes fast can mean like 2 years. So it's really difficult to give an exact time when someone wants to know when something's coming. But if you do get wands, it usually means very quickly. And especially when you get Ace of Wands, it means almost immediately. So if you're asking a yes or no question, then you see the wand come up, then it means yes. It's also associated with passions that you may have, you know, things like careers, like whatever you're passionate about. During the reading, you might be hearing a lot about, you know, your career, what you actually want to do. But this is a card of crazy creativity, so you're going to be hearing about a lot of that within your reading when this comes up. If you're someone who does read cards, you know, upside down and right side up, then if it's upside down, you can see this as a no, but if it's right side up, then it's a yes. But again, that does depend on how you read cards. So this card can represent actions, ideas, gifts, like receiving a message, a very important message, possibly about a promotion or your career, taking risks, getting ready, challenges, creativity, drive, growth, and even new beginnings. So this card could represent something new coming into your life, and you'll know more about the details based on the cards surrounding it. Now, if you do see it in reverse or you get a different kind of energy from it, it can represent blocks, fear, disappointing news, loss of energy, and even like your life has kind of come to a stop. Not like your life is over or anything, but like it just seems like that you're not moving forward. So if you get it in reverse, or it kind of gives off a different kind of energy that seems off, then that could mean that you're not moving forward the way that you should be, and there could be a reason why that's happening, and you'll be able to figure that out by the cards surrounding it. So now let's take a closer look. Now we're taking a closer look at Ace of Wands. So one wand. Now again, like we spoke before, the wand does represent the element of fire, which means moving quickly. So usually when this card pops up in just about any deck, it means yes, or something's going to be happening immediately or very quickly. But tarot timing is really weird, so I couldn't give you an exact time. And that's probably what you're going to end up saying to a lot of the individuals you do read for. So with the Rider-Waite deck, you can tell that it's very simple. Most of the artwork on the Rider-Waite deck is very simple, and it does look like someone is giving something. With any of the other ace in any suits, you will be seeing a hand giving like a cup or a pentacle, wand, or sword. So usually it could mean something coming to you or being given to you, depending on how you're interpreting it. And in this interpretation, this could represent you receiving a promotion, if that's something that you're asking about, or maybe even a new job, or maybe something associated with your career or creativity, like maybe you wanted to write a book, so finally you're getting that idea for the book, you know, things like that. But also look at the background. In the background you see like a castle, so maybe that can represent a home or travel. So these are some things to keep in mind. Again, don't try to just keep this in your mind. Make sure you go by what you feel and what you receive during the reading, and also look at the cards surrounding it. Now, let's take a look at the Ace of Wands in different decks. I wanted to make a quick note about this one. Now, this is a deck that was given to me. I did mention this before. It doesn't necessarily really call to me, and I've actually read a lot of not good reviews on this deck, which I think it's very beautiful when it comes to the major arcana, and a couple of like the royals in that deck look really cool. But when it comes to like the numbers and the different suits, it's extremely simple, and a lot of individuals say that they don't tell you that like if the mask represents wands, or if the rose represents cups or chalice or pentacles. But based on what I was looking at with these cards, this is what represented wands to me, so hopefully that's right. I don't know if my friend had a book on it saying which one it represented, but this is what I think it represents. So hopefully if you have this deck, that's how it calls to you as well. But if not, then whatever, you know, go by what you feel. As you can see up here, we have the astrology version of it, and you have Aries, so you could probably think about what Aries represents to you, or what the actual sign itself means. You can also look at this individual right here. So instead of having just a wand, I think that cactus is supposed to represent the wand. And you can also look at this individual, like how do they look to you? To me they look drunk. Wands also represents creativity. So if you look over here at this dragon deck, you can see a lot of creativity happening. So that's what this card represents. It represents creativity as well. And if you look, you can see all these books that he's got, and it looks like he's performing his own kind of magic. And there's even astrology happening in the background, maybe even like alchemy. Right here you can see the symbol for fire. You can see a lot of creativity, knowledge, and maybe even representation of travel right there. Again, go by what you feel and what calls to you. And look, he even has a little spell book right there. Now you can also see with this card that there's also a castle as well, and here we have the representation of the wand, or you can even see it as staff. And over here you can see that they represent it differently in this mermaid deck. But as you can see, there's a crow here, or raven, however you want to see it, and you can also think about what that might represent to you if that ends up calling to you. And if you see, there's a lot of cloudiness happening right here. So this could represent someone who's having clouded mind, so they're not being as creative as they would like to be. You can see that she's thinking a lot, so maybe they're focusing on things that are not associated with what they need to be doing at this time, or they're just letting problems take over their mind instead of what's truly important. And then as you can see, like, the wand has, you know, destroyed that rock, so that could also be a breakthrough. So again, it's all up to what you guys end up seeing and how you interpret it. Let me know in the comments below what Ace of Wands means to you. Now for the weekly reading.